So today I'm going to talk about is the rune stone called Isa, or it's called ice also, which literally means ice. So let us understand, when you get this rune stone in a reading, what is it possibly trying to tell you? One, what can ice do? Ice can freeze. It can create stillness. So whatever is there, it just becomes static or still. But you should appreciate, ice just doesn't drop in, or nothing just becomes frozen. First it gets starts to get a bit cold, and then it starts to take form of the ice. So whenever you get the runestone Isa or the ice, it means you are getting a lot of warning beforehand about a certain challenge or standstill that your work is going to reach, or a certain relationship is going to reach. But you're going to get a warning. It's not just coming suddenly out of nowhere. So you will have enough time to respond to it or work it. This is one. The other is, let us say something does get frozen or does get wrapped in, freezed something. For the time being, looks like a certain work situation or something that is what you want is not working or is gone static, and after some time will start to move. So ice will eventually melt, and then the things will start moving. So one, it doesn't get you by surprise when you get this runestone. And the second is, you should trust in the times to change and not think that this challenge or difficulty that you're facing is permanent. Here I'm going to talk about one case, which I just read today, and it is about this doctor in Kerala. And so what happened was, she was a training doctor in one hospital, and there was another doctor, who was working there, and he liked her, and he proposed marriage to her, and she was okay with it, and her family also okayed it, because the man went and then spoke to her family, and they said, okay, we are willing to go ahead and the marriage to happen. And now when they went forward with the talks and how the marriage should happen, the groom's family, the so-called groom of fiance's family, started asking for a BMW as a dowry. And because of this, the man or the boy who had proposed marriage to the girl, the doctor, he pulled back and he said he did not want to get married because his father was not agreeing. If the girl and her family cannot give BMW, his father does not want him to go ahead with the marriage. The girl was a doctor as well, and she could not take this rejection, and she committed suicide. See, one, when I see cases like these, it's just amazingly sad. But people should know, no matter what difficulty you're faced with, it's eventually going to go away. No matter how close she felt to this doctor or who proposed marriage to her, she should have trusted that her heart can always fall in love again. And it just breaks my heart that somebody who, even for the family, they sent their daughter to become a doctor. They did all the spending, taught her, and then she becomes a doctor, and then over nothing she commits suicide. If they wanted a BMW, you don't want, and you're not okay, and you don't want to go ahead, and the man pulls out this, why would you want to commit suicide? It's just so sad. So one, everything you should know, as a problem is going to go away, and it's not a permanent problem that's just going to stay. And you shouldn't take something very extreme as a step over something that shows up as a challenge. It's just stillness, it's just something that's not moving. And gradually things do move, and then you have a lot of other things to embrace and appreciate in life. So this is the example I wanted to share. Now let us say if you get the rune stone in the reverse, which means it is horizontal. One, it means deceit, and whatever was standing has fallen down. So you were backstabbed or you were lied to, and you have fallen down. There is a very famous politician from ancient India, and his name is Chanakya. His name was Chanakya, and a lot of his policies and what are he had to share as the insight or intelligence even gets spoken today in or written in books. So one of the things he had said was the trees that get cut first or are fell in a forest are the ones which are straight. You should know that if repeatedly you get taken down or lied to by people or stolen from by people or by situation, or you're forever in some money problem because someone wouldn't return your money, or you're forever in debt of some kind or the other, or you get lied to, it's because you may be too simple for this society, and you should develop a certain side to yourself. If this guidance showed up in somebody's future, I would tell them you need to pick up a lot of intelligence about the people around you and your overall situation, and you can't be working with too much trust. So this is how I would give the guidance if runestone Isa showed up in the reverse. Now, always do the three sections. One is I do the runestone, then I do it how it would mean or what the meaning would be when the runestone is in the reverse, which is what I discussed right now. And now I want to talk about overall how's the society. See, one, it's very important that we stay true to the meaning of what the runestone is. But let us also understand what does this runestone, symbolize to me as a person. So, when I look at this, it just tells me a stick or just a person standing. And per se, in society today, it's amazingly difficult for a single person to survive. I usually used to get told or said, and I used to feel it, that if you're a woman and you're single, you really get harassed in the Indian society and maybe even world over in a lot of other societies as well. But I once heard of a case where this person he got jailed for some reason, and he was on TV talking about it. And he said when he was in the jail for 2 days, he met two people who were to be, punished or taken to court for a certain murder they had committed. He said when I asked them what murder they had done or what was their crime, those two people said that once we went to eat at a place, and the eatery place or the small hotel guy, the dhaba person who was cooking there, he said to these two men that do you see that one man sitting and eating food there? And the two of them nodded, and he said he every day comes and drinks the most expensive liquor and eats a belly full of food here. And he said he's one of my most premium customers, who comes to eat and drinks the most expensive liquor. He said the two of us did not have much money. He said, and over the few days we kept going to that hotel or that eatery, and we kept noticing and observing that was true, that one person would come all alone, not speak to anybody, drink the most expensive or expensive liquor and eat the nicest of food and then just walk back to his house. And that distance of walking was quite a lot. He said, after we observed this for few days, we cornered him one day and we tried to steal from him. And he said, as we tried to steal from him, we hit him on his head, we knifed him, and all of that. And he said, when we opened his wallet, there wasn't any money, or there was very less money. He said at that time we understood we had made a very grave mistake, but by the time somebody had called the cops or they got caught in some way. When I hear these cases, one, it should never have happened. People should be free to go and eat and drink as they like and walk back to their house. Increasingly, as India moves into a 60% population being below poverty line, and even now the number is getting higher, even 70% we will touch very soon, that 70% or more in India are below poverty line. As we touch that, these cases are going to increase where single people are not safe, or even people who have money or are well to do can't step out or have food or have a good time unless you have your own vehicle. So that should not be how life should be. So when I look at ISA and I it tells me it's also about existence of a single person or somebody who's by himself or herself in the society. And till the time person is not safe being alone, I think there is a problem with the society. So, and this is a permanent problem because 60% and above as Indian population which is below poverty line, the number is very high. It's not like 5% is below poverty line. One, nobody should be below poverty line, and nobody should kill somebody else just over something like this. That if he's drinking expensive drink and eating good food, then let us just steal from him. They should have a job already and they should be able to eat just as good food and drink as well. So this is what I just wanted to reflect on, that if I were to look at how ISA is with Indian society, it's fairly a challenge to be by yourself or as a single existence or just by being alone. So this is how I just wanted to discuss the rune stone. Also, if you get this guidance in the future, it's saying that this is ice in the future, which means there is a certain warning that you see in the future, and you should move away or try to put up with it in some way, because eventually this challenge will go away. Ice doesn't stay forever, right? It will, as the seasons will change, the ice will melt and your situation will change. So the good part with the ISA or this runestone is it's not a permanent challenge. It is there, but it will go away. And should you just hold on to, a certain belief or your situation, things will improve. So this was the runestone of ISA.